So fellow homesteaders, we decided to take advantage of the beautiful weather for November 3rd in Northwest Wisconsin and do a video on back to Eden gardening method. I guess we're going to give that a try this year. And there's many videos you can find on the internet to learn how to do it. I'm just going to show you how we're starting and give you a few tips possibly. First thing you're going to need is wood chips. That proved to be a lot more difficult to find than we thought it would be. But if you call around to different places in your area, the tree services, you might find somebody that'll just dump some in your yard for you. So I'll explain to you what we're doing in a bit. First, we're going to head over to the seed beds. First, we're going to mark the area where we put our wood chips. I am making my rows 24 inches apart. And right now I'm just using fence posts. So we're going to put the fence post in the ground right there. And one at the other end. Okay. And then we're going to put a string so we can make our rows nice and straight. Now normally I just do this in the spring when I plant, but we're preparing our seed beds right now, and you'll understand why in a few minutes. Back to our wood chip pile. Okay, here we are at the wood chip pile again, and you can see there's some pretty good sized chunks in here. And we don't really want that in the area where we're planting our seeds. Because when you put your seeds in the ground in the spring, it's not going to be easy to spread these apart. But if you get your shavings a little finer, that's going to be easy to spread apart to get down to the ground to plant your seeds. So only in the area where we want to put our seeds, we're going to put this screened shavings. Now I'm using this 1/2 inch cage material here. My husband just found this for me. Apparently it was somebody's bird cage, but it works perfect. But until I had that, I was using this, which was a lot slower, but it worked too. You just need something to sift it through. You might want it to be a little bigger than this so that you can really get some chunks through there. Otherwise it takes an awful long time. So I'll show you what we're doing. I just put a couple shovelfuls in here, and it looks like it's going to take a long time, but it's really not as time consuming as you think. And you just push all that little stuff through. And then you can see what you're left with. You're left with just these big chunks. Now you don't have to be too particular about sifting it because we're going to use this stuff too. It's not going to waste. And then I dump this into the other wheelbarrow. And then we start over. Now let's take this down to the seed beds and I'll show you what we do with it. All right, now we're going to take this nice, beautiful, sifted stuff, and we're just going to put it right on the string so that we can be sure we're getting it centered on our row here. And our goal is to have it 3 or 4 inches thick. It's going to settle after a couple days even. But you're going to just want to spread it out on there evenly. And you notice we're leaving a gap in between. And I just want to show you, when we go to plant in the spring, you're going to want to just pull this back down to the dirt. And see how easy that works? And you can plant your seeds in there. Now let me show you what it would be like if we had the other stuff. We'd have to pull everything all apart, which is kind of a pain. And I didn't want to do that. So I'm making the small stuff for the rows, and then we're putting the big stuff in between. So nothing's going to waste. After we're done with this section of the garden where we're just putting the seeds, then we're going to take what's left of that pile and put that on the rest of the garden. So it's going to be a mixture of the fine stuff and the coarse stuff. But that'll be okay because we're just going to put plants in there, and plants will be fine. So if you're going to try this, I would suggest doing it soon because you kind of want to put this stuff on the ground in the fall so it can start doing its work before you have to plant in the spring. Doing it in the spring might be a little tricky. And we'll do another video in the spring and let you know how we like the way it works. That's it.